looking ahead to Donald Trump's presidency, we know that his promises have proven to not be worth much. He's already backing off many of them. But we thought before he backs off the rest of them, let's check in with the promises he's made, specifically the promises he's made for what he would do on day one. Because if you follow Donald Trump's public appearances and speeches, the ones where he actually said words and doesn't just sway to music for 44 minutes, he made a lot of promises, and many of them he made many times. And so it's looking like his first day as president is gonna be pretty busy, because he many times said that he would in fact settle the Russia-Ukraine war, not just in one day, but on the first day. So January 21st, we're good, no more conflict. Okay, he's gonna close the border. I'd potentially even buy that. He's gonna cut federal funding for schools that teach CRT. That was back when the right cared about CRT. Now it's all about DEI. Or who have a vaccine mandate. He said that 26 times. Begin the largest deportation operation. So the border's closed and they are already packing people into the concentration camps on day one. End the electric vehicle mandate. Increase drilling and fracking for oil. Begin ending inflation and making life affordable. Although in his defense, he has already implied that he's not gonna do that. Terminate open border policies of Biden men. End Bidenomics and start MAGAnomics. I am now 5% dumber for having had to say that. End Green New Deal policies, which are a thing that happened. The Green New Deal, everybody forgets that. We passed the Green New Deal, everyone, so now he can end it. And end birthright citizenship on day one. So obviously there's gonna need to be time for a Big Mac and a Diet Coke and everything. So that's a pretty packed day, Michael. What do you make of that?
Well, he can't end birthright citizenship. It's in the Constitution. To amend the Constitution, you need 2/3 of the Congress and 3/4 of the states, and I don't see that happen. So there's one that's not going to happen. The day one was the day also he promised to be a dictator for one day. So he was going to. It's his dictator day. And a lot of those things are dictatorial, but a lot of them can't be done. And a lot of them are probably lower on the priority list. I think before that electric vehicle mandate thing was before he became, best buddies with Elon Musk, whose billions come in large part from electric vehicles. So that's going to have to be thought through a little bit as well. I think Donald Trump won't be the first person who have made lots of promises on a campaign trail, which he doesn't keep, but he might be the one who breaks them the quickest all at once. I mean, you talk about blanket pardons. This is a blanket, breaking of promises because they're just not feasible. They're also not on the trail. They might be politically palatable, but they're not going to be politically palatable, all of them in Congress either. The racist stuff will be among the Republicans. The deportations and the border stuff. Some Republicans will veer away from the deportation stuff. People in perhaps Texas, Arizona, and Florida will veer away from that a little bit. But I think that's a longer process, and that's not an immediate thing. If he might have some symbolic deportations on day one, but there's so much symbolism. There's a piece of a wall that Donald Trump could take you down and show you, but the wall doesn't get built. So yes, they may deport 400 people on day one, and then years will go by before anybody else is deported. So it's political theater with Donald Trump. It's all about the show, and then they move on to the next episode as soon as one's over.
I hope you're right about some of that. Some of the promises he's made are horrific when you actually think about the effects of it. I hope that he's not successful. I do know they're gonna want to do a couple of, or at least not do something, but do an executive order that promises some truly insane things. So everybody again should buckle up for that. And on the ending birthright citizenship, you've thrown up all of these very quaint issues with him doing that. But as producer Mike reminds us, the Constitution doesn't count on Dictator Day, Michael.
Well, that's true. That's true. So, but I mean, producer Mike's right. You can edit the Constitution, amend the Constitution, add Dictator Day, and then once Dictator Day is there, I think you want to add Dictator Day first. And then you get all that stuff done.
Probably.
It'd be silly to deport everybody and end birthright citizenship before you add Dictator Day.